our idea of real, truly community-based service is where all of the students who are part of a community have service integrated into the activities that they're already doing.
I think it's a benefit for the community organizations, and it's a benefit for the youth.
Well, we have a plethora of community-based organizations. A lot of them are interested in capitalizing on the skills that youth bring to service.
I really value experiential learning, and I think that that is 10 times more beneficial than just learning in a classroom.
I mean, it just gives meaning to everything that you're doing in a way that nothing else really consistently does.
I think that a lot of the principles of service learning can be applied to lots of different things and sort of increase the meaning in them.
I think service learning happening in all places is that setting up the expectation that it's not just about serving others, but what are you bringing away from the experience, and how does that inform your development as a person? So,
you know, restaurants and cafes saw these kids, the community center saw these kids, the kids got to see these places and make these connections that then we built upon.
If we're serious about creating a paradigm shift where there's strong indicators that young people are partners, we first need to conquer some adult assumptions and make sure that everyone's on board with that as well.
When we see young people as resources, we have some opportunities to do some amazing things in our community. When we see young people as resources, we're activating some great power within the community.
And I've been hearing this for a long time, that young people need to be at the round table, and young people need to be in decision making.
Young people, we as adults, we want to talk. So our biggest thing is to draw the gigantic ear and be a listener as well as a talker.
for me, that's kind of another goal, is to really have our students be seen as a resource and not as, these kids need to be served.
We talk about youth, but then we have a lot of broken homes. We have a lot of parents that's going through a lot.
How do you get young people, regardless of their GPA, see service as something that they want to do? Not because it's a school thing, because it's a community thing and they care about their community.
You have a lot of kids that's really not in trouble, but they don't get help. Only the ones that's in trouble get help. So you figure, I got to get in trouble to get help? We sending a lot of mixed signals.
I think that the reason why this model works so well for especially at-risk youth or youth who come from backgrounds that are not necessarily fully privileged is because they have a chance to look outside themselves and say the world is bigger than me, and no matter what problems I have, somebody else has bigger problems.
We kind of come together as a group, and then after that they make a list of events that they think we should do, and it kind of runs from there.
It's not community service, it's service learning. It's people really stepping back and thinking, and then they get to have a lot of ownership over what they do because they choose the issues that they want to address. Kids identify community needs and then think, instead of thinking about immediately how to solve those issues, those needs, they think about the roots of the problems that they're seeing. And that thought process, just on its own, without any other step, is incredibly powerful.
So the role of the adult in service projects has to be facilitator and has to be support. And if the end product doesn't come out the way you imagined it to, you have to be willing to let that go. Because if not, then the next time around, they're not going to come up with any ideas again, because you didn't go with their idea the first time.
So the idea is that you serve, and then you reflect, and you learn from that.
And then that feeds into the reflection of like, okay, so what else can we do? Who else could we serve? Where else do you see that there's something that's not right about the world?
Students are able to see, to want to have more choice and more voice and think independently, and also connect to things that matter.
A lot of the service learning projects have been generated by the students themselves.
Young people need to be part of a volunteer experience from vision to completion. Don't insert them where you think they're going to look cute in. insert them right away and get through that hard work of really finding out what they care about.
So I got to help people out, and with such a small group, we got to decide what issues we wanted to focus on and what events we wanted to do and put them together, and that was really empowering, especially at that age.
They know that they have to work for them, and if they know that they have to work for something, then they're going to be a lot more consistent.
They like it because it's theirs and they own it.
It's really like community assessment because it just gets kids to think outside themselves a little bit. And
knowing your community and having positive relationships with people within your community, that's a huge thing that service learning can do, because you're taking the kids outside of their zone, you know, and really getting them out there and making new connections with new people.
Make sure that whatever you're going to have young people do, that it's important to that community.
And learning about specific issues and then actually being able to go out in the community and know the background of a situation, or to know why a service is needed.
You always learn something new about the environment or about social justice when you do some service, because like you wouldn't even know that there's like a toxic waste dump in that part of the city if the agency wasn't educating people who came to do the service projects.
I've learned a lot from doing service. I've learned a lot about myself, because reflection is the heart of service learning.
because whether a project goes great or goes terribly, they still did something and they still got something out of it.
How did that change you as a person? So I think that's one thing that can happen in any setting. There's something about service in particular that just lends itself to that kind of like growth and reflection, because it is so inherently meaningful.
Before I joined this club, I used to get in trouble all the time. I used to get into fights and everything. And like this community just woke me up. When I first started off the year, I had like D's, now I have B's and 1 C.
I had a bad attitude, and I would always walk around halls with fights.
We're helping people get food for their families and like put dinner on the table. So it's kind of like doing good things to help out the community, like Cesar Chavez.
I never really grew up with much things, and like I know other people have less than me, and I always just like wanted to help them and stuff.
We're like working for a community and like helping like build cement for schools and local parks for like little kids that we meet.
It makes me want to do more service and be more part of my community.
People really wanted to reach out. Like everybody here really cares so much about helping other people and wanting to become a better person. And I think that this is one of the best ways that you could ever do that and improve yourself.
I think so, because I think I'm more sympathetic to what is really going on around me.
It's a great experience. You get a lot out of it. You'll be exposed to things you've never seen before, and it's really good experience.
I can't really remember what my life was like before I was involved in service.
These are our kids. These are our children.
Everyone to be able to see the gaps and feel like they have the power to do something about the gaps and they have the skills to fill the gaps. I think that's our goal.
In my ideal world, everyone would always be working to make the world a better place.
The whole idea is these kids, they're going to do service learning the rest of their lives now, because now they get the feeling of it, they know what it is. So now they're going to do it, and they're going to teach their kids to do it, and their kids are going to teach their kids. So the whole idea is you're going to have a circle of service learning coming from when they started this in University Heights Middle School.